Tom Pryce. Remember the name? This wasn't just some bloke who dabbled in motor racing. This was a Welshman with fire in his belly and a right foot that could make a car sing. He was a Formula One driver, see? And a bloody good one at that. Sadly, his time was cut short. But in the few years he had, he left a mark on the sport that's still felt today. Pryce was a natural, a real racer's racer. He had that something special, that spark of brilliance you just can't teach. He could wrestle a car like a lion tamer, making it dance to his tune, and he did it all with a quiet determination, a steely glint in his eye. This is the story of Tom Pryce, the Welshman who took Formula One by storm. A tale of raw talent, fierce determination, and ultimately unimaginable tragedy. Buckle up, because this is one ride you won't want to miss. Tom Pryce wasn't born with a silver spanner in his hand. He hailed from Ruthin, a small town nestled in the heart of Wales. It's the kind of place where life moves at a slower pace, where things are built to last. But even amidst the rolling hills and quiet streets, young Tom had a need for speed. It started with bicycles, naturally. Then came anything with an engine. Tom was drawn to the roar of the engine, the thrill of the open road. He craved the adrenaline rush, the feeling of pushing himself and his machine to the limit. As a teenager, he'd spend hours tinkering with cars, learning the mechanics, understanding how to make them go faster. He had a natural gift, an innate ability to understand the delicate balance between man and machine. It wasn't long before this passion for speed and mechanics morphed into something more. Tom Pryce, the boy from Ruthin, was destined for bigger things. He was destined for racing. You don't just wake up one day and find yourself in a Formula One car. It takes grit, determination, and a whole lot of hard work. Tom Pryce understood this. His journey began, like many others, not on the hallowed tarmac of Silverstone, but on the dirt tracks of local circuits. His first love wasn't a sleek racing car, but a humble tractor. Yes, you read that right, a tractor. He used it to hone his skills, learning to handle a vehicle at speed, to control it, to master it. It was an unconventional start, but then again, Tom Pryce was never one to follow the crowd. He quickly progressed to Formula Ford, the breeding ground for young racing hopefuls. It was here that Pryce's natural talent began to shine through. He had a raw speed that startled even the most seasoned veterans. He was fearless, pushing himself and his car to the edge, always striving for that extra tenth of a second. A Formula Ford was just the beginning. Tom Pryce was like a man possessed, hungry for success and eager to prove himself on a bigger stage. He moved up the racing ladder with astonishing speed, leaving a trail of bewildered competitors in his wake. Formula 100, Formula Super V, Formula 3. Pryce conquered them all. Each step brought him closer to his ultimate goal, Formula One. He was a force of nature, racking up victories and podium finishes with almost casual ease. The racing world began to take notice. This young Welshman, with his quiet demeanor and blistering pace, was something special. His driving style was a joy to watch. He was aggressive yet smooth, fearless yet calculated. He had an uncanny ability to find the limit of grip, to dance on the edge of control without ever losing it completely. He was, in a word, brilliant, and the world of Formula One awaited. The year was 1974. Formula One was a different beast back then. The cars were lethal, the drivers even more so. It was a gladiatorial arena reserved for the bravest and the best. Tom Pryce, the boy from Ruthin, had finally arrived. He made his debut with Token Racing, a small privateer team. The car was hardly a world beater, but Pryce wrung its neck, pushing it to its absolute limits. He turned heads with his raw speed, his natural talent shining through even in inferior machinery. His performances caught the eye of another team, a team with a growing reputation. Shadow Racing. They saw in Pryce a diamond in the rough, a driver with the potential for greatness. He was offered a drive for the 1975 season. It was the break he had been waiting for, the chance to prove himself on the biggest stage in motorsport. Joining shadow racing was a turning point in Tom Pryce's career. He finally had a car capable of challenging for points, for podiums, for victories, and challenge he did. He formed a formidable partnership with his teammate, the experienced and highly respected Alan Jones. Pryce's star was on the rise. He scored his first World Championship points in the 1975 Belgian Grand Prix, a testament to his growing confidence and the increasing competitiveness of the shadow car. He followed that up with a string of impressive performances, consistently finishing in the points. He wasn't just quick, he was consistent, reliable, a team player. He had the respect of his peers, a rare feat in the cutthroat world of Formula One. The 1976 season promised even greater things. With a year of experience under his belt and a car that was constantly being developed, Pryce was ready to take on the world's best. The 1976 Race of Champions, a non-championship event, yes, but a prestigious one nonetheless. The great and the good of Formula One were all there, ready to do battle on the hallowed tarmac of Brands Hatch. And it was Tom Pryce, the quiet Welshman, who stole the show. He qualified on pole position, a feat he would repeat at the British Grand Prix later that year. He then proceeded to dominate the race, leading from start to finish. He took the checkered flag ahead of Niki Lauda, the reigning world champion, in a performance that sent shockwaves through the sport. This wasn't just a fluke, it was a statement. Tom Pryce had arrived. He was a force to be reckoned with, a potential world champion in the making. His victory at Brands Hatch cemented his place among the elite of Formula One. He was no longer the up-and-coming youngster, he was a genuine contender. March 5th, 1977, the South African Grand Prix at Kyalami, a date forever etched in Formula One history. It was a day that began with such promise, a day that ended in unimaginable tragedy. The race was underway, the cars jostling for position. Then it happened, a freak accident, a cruel twist of fate. Tom Pryce, travelling at over 170 miles per hour, was struck by a fire extinguisher being carried by a marshal who was crossing the track. The impact was instantaneous and catastrophic. Pryce was killed instantly. He was just 27 years old. The world of motorsport was in shock. A young life, a talent so bright, extinguished in the blink of an eye. The race continued, but the result was inconsequential. The sport had lost one of its own, a driver who had embodied the spirit of racing, the pursuit of speed, the will to win. Tom Pryce's career may have been tragically cut short, but his legacy lives on. He is remembered as a driver of immense talent, a fierce competitor with a quiet determination that belied his on-track aggression. He was, by all accounts, a true gentleman, respected by his peers and loved by his team. In the annals of Formula One, his name stands alongside the greats. He was a driver who had the potential to achieve anything, a driver who could have been a world champion. His memory is honoured every year at the British Grand Prix, a fitting tribute to a British racing hero. But more than that, Tom Pryce is remembered for the man he was, a proud Welshman, a gifted engineer, a true racer. He was a shining example of what can be achieved with hard work, dedication, and a burning passion for the sport. His story is a reminder that life is precious, that dreams should be pursued with unwavering passion, and that even in the face of tragedy, the human spirit can endure.